Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is a very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is a very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice greatly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice greatly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice greatly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice greatly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, You can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. You can speak Vietnamese. You can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is a very difficult Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak in the world. If you want to speak in the world, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blot out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice gradually every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak in well. If you want to speak in well, so you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can brought out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can brought out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can brought out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can blurt out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can brought out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice gradually every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. So practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice correctly every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice gradually every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can write out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe in yourself and practice gradually every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the difference between English and Vietnamese. English is very different from Vietnamese. The sounds are different, grammar is different, and the writing is totally different. It's very difficult to speak English well. If you want to speak English well, you must forget about the difference. Just practice correct sentences until you are used to them. The more sentences you can put out, the better you can express yourself. If you believe yourself and practice gradually every day, you will make it. You will conquer English. Vietnamese is the most difficult language in the world. If you can't speak Vietnamese, you can't speak English.